Hello, everybody. This is Bernie Strom, and welcome to my YouTube channel for today's Field of Dreams baseball broadcast. We are broadcasting beginning July 1st. We will finish the month of July, not today, of course, but we'll do about 10 days in July, maybe a little longer. When this month is over, we will pause. There'll be a trading deadline for 24 hour, a trading period for 24 hours. A new file will be uh, downloaded from Steve Tate, and we will sim the month of August. So next week, I would assume, we will start the pennant chase for the month of September. And there is a good pennant race in both our divisions, the Suck It Up and the No More Tears division. As you can see from the screen, we got Washington leading the Suck It Up division by 3.5 over Manchester. Great battle there. There is a three-way battle for the third and final playoff position between St. Louis, Crystal Lake, and Lehigh. In the No More Tears division, David Landau and Real Chicago has a good 7-game lead, but there's still time for Chicago and Lancaster and Union Stewarts to catch him, so David can't have any slumps because one of those three teams is probably going to do well. There's also in that division, Carolina is only 2 games out. Well, actually, not even that. Yes, 2 games out in the loss column for that division. And Beantown is still in it, along with Edmonton. Any of those teams can sneak into the third spot. Anyway, without any further ado, let's go to the schedule and play a couple of games. And right off the bat, we have St. Louis and Crystal Lake. So before we get started with any simming, let's play St. Louis at Crystal Lake. Battle for the playoffs here in their division. We have Max Scherzer pitching for the Hawks. And the Killers will have Jim Palmer. We got a good pitching matchup today. Lineups are in. Slash checks in to watch his Crystal Lake team take on St. Louis in their home park, which is Candlestick Park. St. Louis has won 11 straight, 10 of their last 10. Well, that's how you win 11 straight. Max Scherzer starts for St. Louis. He's made 14 starts. He's 8-4. He's got an ERA of 3.0. It's his third start against Crystal Lake, and he's 1-1 in that score. Jim Palmer's made 13 starts. He's 6-7. ERA's 4.05. He's pitched twice against St. Louis, and he's 1-0. He pitched, and he's got a 2.0 ERA against him. 59 degrees. It's cool off the breezy ocean here at Candlestick Park. Wind speed 6 miles an hour to left, but it's sunny. And let's play ball. Lineups for St. Louis. Sister at first, batting first. Cruz in left, batting second. Collins batting third at second. Acuna in right field, recently acquired by Big Clue in right field. Willie Mays in center, fifth. Caminetti at third, sixth. Campanella catching. Seventh, Bancroft at short, eighth, and Joe Morgan is the DH and batting ninth. That's a change in his lineup. I got to put Clayton's picture in here, but before we do that, in the outfield, Bonds, Griffey, and Gwynn. Great outfield for Crystal Lake. All in the Hall of Fame. Williams, Clayton, Thompson, Fox in the infield. We've got Mainwaring catching. Let me move this down a little bit. George Slisser steps in, and we're underway. To deep left. Bonds puts it away at the fence, 1 down. On the ground to Clayton. It's past Clayton into left field. Base hit for Jose Cruz. And while we're doing this, let's get Clayton's picture in here. I've got them, so I might as well use them. Okay, there, it disappeared. Let's get this back up here. There we go. There he is. Eddie Collins in the foul territory. Palmer delivers again. There goes Cruz. He is out, caught stealing. Mainwaring throws him out. Collins on the ground. Williams has got it. It's going to be a close play. Hey, got him. We head to the bottom of the first. St. Louis fails to score. Killers coming up. Killers batting order has Gwynn in right field leading off. Bonds in left. Second, Fox at first hitting third. Matt Williams, the DH, hitting cleanup. Griffey in center field fifth. Oh, no, that's not Matt Williams. I'll tell you who it is. Cy Williams. Matt Williams is at third, hitting sixth. Bryce Clayton at short, seventh. Thompson at second base, hitting eighth. Mainwaring catching and hitting ninth. In the outfield for St. Louis, Cruz, Willie Mays, whose picture I'll get, and Acuna's picture I will get. In the outfield, Caminetti, Bancroft, Collins, Sisler. In the infield, Campanella catching. Let's get the housework done. Willie Mays, whose picture I've had to do every single year. And Acuna. Well, there's a reason why I don't have his picture. I don't have his picture, so we'll get that in later. He's going to be photoless. Bottom of the inning. Gwynn. On the ground to Caminetti. Long throw. And they get him. He is out. Barry Bonds pops it up into the infield. Sisler puts it away. This photo background is showing those pop-ups as being slow. Going to take all day for those. Deep to center field. Mays has it off the bat of Fox. We head to the second, no score. Fly to center. Griffey's got it. Cuna's out. Willie Mays. Mays on first. Caminetti up. Pop up behind the plate. Mainwaring gets it. Great play. Mays still on first. Palmer delivers. There goes Mays. He is caught stealing. Mainwaring gets his second runner in 2 innings. We head to the bottom of the second. No score. Cy Williams is out. Griffey pops it up in the infield. 2 away. Matt Williams on the ground up the middle. Collins perfectly placed. Makes a great play, throws it to Sisler, 1-2-3. Go the Killers, top of the third, no score. Ground ball is short. Campanella's thrown out. Palmer to Bancroft. Griffey's going to put that one away for the out. And Joe Morgan, the DH and hitting ninth, is going to slap a base hit in the right field. Morgan on first. He usually steals. Let's go. We'll see what happens. There he goes. No throw. Stolen base number 3 in this stint for him with St. Louis. Sisler to right field. Gwynn has got it for the out. I'm going to change Candlestick Park to something else. This Candlestick Park has so many pixels. I think it's slowing up the speed of the ball. Clayton up deep in the left field. Cruz has got it. Thompson facing Scherzer. And he's going to go to first. Mainwaring up the middle, base hit. Poor play for the second baseman, Eddie Collins. That's rare. He's usually full of good plays. Home team has runners on first and second. 1 out. And Tony Gwynn's up. He's going to hit the ball to center field. Mays has got it for the out. Barry Bonds deep in the right field. Acuna's looking at it. And that's all he can do is it's in the stands for Barry Bonds' 16th home run. And just like that, here in the bottom of the third is a 3-0 Crystal Lake lead. Barry Bonds, quite a hitter. Speaking of quite a hitter, Fox deep to left field. Cruz is watching this one, but he's going to watch it into his glove. Inning is over. We head to the fourth. 3-0 Crystal Lake. Palmer pitching with the lead. Walks Cruz. Doesn't that figure? You get a lead and you immediately put the leadoff runner on to face Eddie Collins. Throw to first. Cruz is back. Another throw to first. There goes the runner. And 3 innings out of 4. St. Louis has had a runner gunned down by Mainwaring. And just like that, Collins singles. What's Mainwaring's arm rating? He's a 6. He's nothing spectacular, but he's been throwing them out today. Acuna. There goes Collins. Collins gets stolen base number 34. Well, I guess Mainwaring's not perfect. Ground ball up the middle. Clayton with a great play. Throws it to first for the out. Collins goes to third. 2 away, however. Willie Mays. Griffey under it. Puts it away in center field. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 3-0 Crystal Lake. Scherzer pitches to Cy Williams. Line drive right to the shortstop for the Web Gem. Griffey pops it up in the right field. Acuna puts that one away for the out. Matt Williams. Fly to center field. 3 fly balls. 3 outs. We head to the top of the fifth. 3-0. Crystal Lake. Caminetti up. Caminetti is going to line out to go in right field. Campanella goes down on strikes. That's Palmer's first strikeout. Bancroft walks. And that's Palmer's third walk. Here comes his fourth walk as Joe Morgan trots down the first. Bancroft to second. Top of the order, Sisler is up. Wild pitch, runners advance. Sisler walks, that's 3 in a row. Bases are loaded, 2 away. Jose Cruz today is 1 for 1. He's going to hit a slow roller to first. Is Fox going to be able to get him? Let's find out. He's got him for the out. Halfway home, it's Killers 3, Hawks nothing. Once again, I apologize for this stadium picture. I'll have to remove it. It is too dense for the game. Ground ball to Caminetti. Clayton goes down. 5-3. Thompson up. Puts it in the air to right field. Acuna's got it for the out. Scherzer delivers to Mainwaring, and he's going to fly out to center field. We head to the sixth. You're right. 3-0. Only 5 hits in the game. 2 for the Killers. 3 for St. Louis. Ground ball to Fox. Collins is out. 3 unassisted. St. Louis may have more hits. Acuna walks. Palmer walks number 6. Willie Mays. And there's a balk. Second strikeout for Palmer. Third strikeout as Caminetti goes down. We end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Yeah, it's still 3-0. 5 hits is all we have. This game's moving right along. Scherzer to Gwynn. Willie Mays under it. 1 down. Bonds counted for all the runs today, and he's got a base hit. Bonds has homered, now singled. Jimmy Fox 0 for 2. He strikes out. Second strikeout. Scherzer delivers to Cy Williams. He walks him. Killers have runners on first and second for Ken Griffey Jr. And there's another fly ball to center field. Mays has been busy out there. He puts it away for the out. We head to the top of the 7th. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on for the Crystal Lake team. St. Louis, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, 6 left on base. They may regret that. 6 left on base. Here we go. Palmer pitching to Campanella. On the ground to Fox. 1 down. Bancroft. Another ground ball to Fox. This time he makes a great play before going to the bag. And Joe Morgan, who's going to put that one on the ground on the right side, but it's Thompson who throws to first. Is a bad throw or a drop ball. Let's find out. It's error on Robbie Thompson. Bad throw. Morgan goes to second. He's in scoring position. Sisler steps in. Fly ball deep in the right field. Gwynn's staring at it. And it's going to be off the wall. 1 run will score. Gwynn is home. Sisler goes in the second. No throw. It is 3-1. Jose Cruz, 1 for 2 today, walked. Lots of walks for Palmer today. That's number 7. Eddie Collins walks. That's number 8. If this game was managed by humans, I'm sure Palmer would be out of there by now. But it's not. The machine's got it, so he's got to get to a certain number of runs. Ground ball. It's going to be in the right field for a base hit. This game is going to be tied. Sisler scores, gets by Wynn. Cruz will score. Collins rounds third. He's going to score. Acuna going for third. He slides. He is safe. It's a triple for Ronald Acuna Jr. It is now 4-3 as St. Louis scores 4 runs here in the top of the 7th to take the lead. Will Palmer stay in to pitch to Mays? He will. Ground ball up the middle. Clayton to Fox for the out. I got a feeling those are unearned runs here in the top of the 7th. Let's check and see where we are. Palmer, 4 unearned runs because of that error. Unbelievable. Slash is probably not too happy right now. Scherzer pitching to Matt Williams. They need a run. Deep in the left field. Cruz has got it for the out. Clayton up on the ground to first. Sisler scoops it up, goes to the bag. Robbie Thompson on the ground to Collins, makes the play to first. 1, 2, 3, go Crystal Lake. We head to the 8th, 4-3 St. Louis. Palmer still on the mound. He's given up 0 earned runs. Caminetti. Fox is a busy guy there at first. 1 down for Roy Campanella. To left, Bonds under it. 2 down. Bancroft, once again, Fox takes it to the bag. He's got to be close to some kind of assist record for first baseman. We head to the bottom of the 8th, 4-3 St. Louis. Mainwaring, who's thrown out 3 runners today, will lead off. Then the top of the order up, Gwynn and Bonds. Mainwaring on the ground to Collins. 1 away. David Lando and Mark from Beantown stop by. Gwynn lays down a bunt. I'm sure that's what that was. He's safe. Let's read it. Drag bunt. It's a hit. Runner on first. 1 out. 1 run behind. Crystal Lake finds themselves. Barry Bonds hit a 3-run homer. Throw to first. Gwynn is back. Before the top of last inning, Bonds was the only one to account for a run. He's going to single in the right field. And Crystal Lake, with 1 out, has the tying run on second. Go-ahead run on first. Jimmy Fox facing Scherzer. That's a line drive. It's in the left field for a base hit. Gwynn is going to hold up at third. The bases are loaded. 1 away. Cy Williams up the DH. I've seen this guy hit with some power. Let's see what he does today. Throw down to first. Everybody's safe. Williams strikes out. 2 down. Bases loaded. Scherzer rubbing up the ball off the mound. Steps back on. Ken Griffey pounds his bat on home plate. Here we go. And Xavier Hernandez will come in and pitch for St. Louis. Griffey goes down on strikes. We head to the ninth. 4-3 St. Louis. Jim Palmer turned red. He's still on the mound. Let's see if he's going to pitch to Joe Morgan. He is. Base hit in the right field. Morgan's second hit of the day. Emmanuel Kloss comes in to face George Sisler. Runner on first, nobody out. Sisler bunts. Morgan goes to second. He's in scoring position with one down. And Jose Cruz charged with knocking him in. Ground ball in the right field, base hit. Morgan will score, I think. He is safe. Ball gets away from Mainwaring. Cruz goes to second. Tony Gwynn charged with an error. It is 5-3. Eddie Collins up, runner on third. Griffey's going to get it, but they're not going to get the speedy Cruz. He's going to score with ease. Well, not with ease. He's had a slide. He was safe, though. 2 away, Acuna up. And he goes down on strikes. We head to the bottom of the ninth. 6-3 St. Louis. Williams, Clayton, and Thompson facing Hernandez. Grounded to third, one down. Clayton on the ground again to first base. Sisler going to take that to the bag. Crystal Lake down to their final out. Robbie Thompson on the ground, slow roller. Caminetti's going to have to be quick to get him. Ball is in the dirt, I think, and Thompson is safe. It was a low throw. Still alive. The tying run is on the on-deck circle. A walk is as good as a hit here for the Killers. Hernandez delivers. Mainwaring back to the mound. Hernandez to first. The game is over. St. Louis goes into Candlestick Park to beat the Crystal Lake Killers 6-3, 6 runs, 7 hits, an error, 7 left on base. Killers 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 6 runs left on base. There is a ton of unearned runs here for St. Louis, but doesn't make a difference. They still count. And here we are. Batting stars for St. Louis. Acuna gets 3 RBIs and a hit, 2 hits for Cruz. For Crystal Lake, of course, Bonds has 3 hits and 3 runs batted in. He did get that big 3-run homer. Winning pitcher Scherzer, he's now 9-4, pitched 7 2/3 innings with 6 hit ball, allowed 3 runs, all earned, struck out 3, walked 2. Hernandez comes in to get the second save. Crystal Lake Palmer, a hard luck loser, goes 8 innings, allows 6 hits, 5 runs, only 1 of them earned. Struck out 3, however, walked a ridiculous number of 8 batters. Kloss came on to finish. Okay, that's that game. Let's do some simming and get these days taken care of. Carolina at Union Stewards, both teams in the running. 9-6 Union Stewards, Lancaster at Chicago, 7-6 Chicago. Lehigh at San Francisco, Lehigh 8-0. Manchester at Gary, 5-2 winners. Vegas at Washington. Washington wins 9-1. All the favorites are winning. Real at Philadelphia. Upset. Philadelphia beats Real 6-4. And Edmonton at Beantown. 6-2 Edmonton. We go to the second. Lancaster at Chicago. Quick glance shows Chicago's 6 out. Lancaster 8.5. Lancaster 5-4 winners. Vegas at Washington. 4-2. Vegas upsets Washington. Wilhelm the winner. Real at Philly. Philly beat them last time, and they lose this time. Real Chicago 8-4 winners. Carolina at Union Stewards. Carolina wins this one. Lehigh shut out San Francisco 8-0 last time, and San Francisco returns the favor, shutting out Lehigh 8-0. I'm going to take a short break, get a sip of water, clear out my throat. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back here. Thought I might do 3 games today, but my throat's already given out. Beantown at Edmonton. We're going to do 2. 5-4 Beantown. St. Louis at Crystal Lake. 3-2 Crystal Lake. Burkett winning that 9-3, having a good year. Manchester at Gary. Manchester 3-1 winner. Mel Parnell goes 8-2 for the season. And Lancaster at Chicago, second game. Lancaster wins 8-1, wins the doubleheader. After Saturday's games here, the third, we'll review the standings. Manchester now moves into Washington. 5-2 Manchester winners. Lancaster at Union Stewards. 8-3 Union Stewards. Carolina at Chicago. 5-4 Chicago. St. Louis at San Francisco. 6-5 St. Louis win. Real Chicago at Edmonton. 14-2 Real Chicago. Lehigh now moves into Crystal Lake, battling for that playoff spot. Lehigh wins 6-5. Beantown at Philadelphia. 17-9 Beantown wins. We go to the fourth. Let's review the suck it up. Washington now lead is down to 1.5, tied in the loss column with MV. St. Louis holds on a slim lead and 8.5 games back. But Lehigh with 1 less loss and 2 less wins and a virtual tie for that third playoff spot. Crystal Lake just behind them. No more tears. Real Chicago 7.5. Chicago's has to put on a push 10 games back in the loss column. Union Stewards 10 games back in the loss column. They're 8.5. Lancaster 9. Okay, let's see what we got on July 4th. Traditional halfway part of the year. Manchester, Washington. I think we'll play the second game. Let's autoplay the first one. 6-3. John Tudor beats Nichols. Beantown at Philadelphia. 14-12. A lot of runs scored there. Philly wins. Lancaster at Union Stewards. 5-3 Lancaster. Carolina at Chicago. 4-2 Carolina. That's going to be quite a race for that third spot. St. Louis at San Francisco. 11-7 San Francisco upsets St. Louis. St. Louis now falls into an 8.5 game behind tie with a Lehigh. Real at Edmonton. 5-2 Real. Lehigh at Crystal Lake again. 5-3 Lehigh. Crystal Lake falls a little bit further behind. Lehigh takes sole possession of third. Vegas at Gary. 4-0. Gary shuts out Vegas. They beat me all the time. Can't tell you why, but they do. Manchester playing at Washington. Let's play this game. Pitching for the Red Bolts, Kevin Appier. For the Clowns, Max Lanier. Lineups are in. Not sure what happened to the national anthem, but let's play ball. Here we are at Tiger Stadium, which I could recognize. We got to take care of home run Baker, but for right now, let's read the lineups. Bell at shortstop leading off for Manchester, DiMaggio in left, batting second, Slot batting third, catching Gehrig at first, hitting cleanup, Roland at third, hitting fifth, Robinson at second, sixth, Ott in right field, seventh, Ramirez the DH, hitting eighth, and Ashburn in center field, hitting ninth. In the outfield for Washington, Hamilton's in left, Moore in center, Slaughter in right, Baker at third, Dallin at short, Whitaker at second, Bruthers at first, Harper catching, Lanier on the mound, and we're underway here in Detroit. Base hit. Manchester has a runner on. Joe DiMaggio is going to have to wait a moment as the throw goes to first. Ground ball down the line. Baker's got it to second for one. That's all they're going to get. And because this is not a high-resolution picture, the ball's moving faster. Slot up. In the left field. Hamilton's got it, 2 down. Lou Gehrig in the left field, and no, Dallin's going to snare it before it gets out of the infield. Great play number 19. Inning is over. We head to the bottom of the first. Manchester, nothing. Clowns coming to bat. Clowns lineup will have Hamilton in left, Slaughter in right, Baker at third, Ruth the DH, Dallin at short, Bruthers at first, Whitaker at second, Harper catching, Moore in center field. DiMaggio left, Ashburn in center, Ott in right, Roland, Bell, Robinson, and Gehrig in the infield, Slot catching, Appiah pitching. Let's get I'm missing a photo on somebody. We'll figure that out in a minute. Pitch to Hamilton. Bell to first. Hamilton beats it out for an infield hit. Slaughter up. Hamilton steals second. Ground ball. Second, Robinson to Gehrig for the out. Hamilton moves to third. 1 out runner on third. Sacrifice fly could tie the game to give Washington the lead. Excuse me. Baker in the right field, base hit. And Hamilton scores. They got the lead. There we go. Baker's got his picture. Babe Ruth up. Baker steals second, number 9. Babe Ruth goes down on strikes. First strikeout for Appiah. Deep to left field. DiMaggio's got it. We head to the top of the second. Washington Clowns 1, Manchester Red Bulls nothing. Hope MV's around watching his game here. Scott Rowland's up. Rowland promptly singles to left, and he's thrown out trying to stretch it to a double. Second one I've seen of that in 2 days. Ground ball to Whitaker. Tosses to first. Jackie Robinson's out. Ott goes down on strikes. Lanier gets his first strikeout. What started out as a promising inning ends as a dud. We head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Clown. Bruthers is up. He'll be followed by Whitaker and the catcher Harper. Bruthers on the ground. A Bell. One down. Whitaker on the ground to Robinson, 2 down. Harper on the ground to Bell. That was quite an inning. 3 ground balls to the middle infield as he's out. We head to inning number 3. Clowns 1. Red Bolts nothing. Base hit in the left field. Manny Ramirez singles. 3rd hit for the Red Bolts. Ashburn bunts. There's going to be an error on Lanier. He booted it, and there's runners on first and second. Nobody out. J. Bell in the left field, base hit. Manny's going to hold at third. The bases are loaded. Nobody out, and Lanier's got trouble. Joe DiMaggio up. Deep in the left field. Hamilton puts it away at the track. Ramirez going to score easily. No throw from the Red Bolts. It is 1-1. Excuse me, no throw by the Clowns. Slot up. Slot line drive in the left field. Base hit. Ashburn's going to score. Red Bolts take a 2-1 lead. Gehrig strikes out. 2 down. Scott Rowland. He walks. Bases will be loaded now. That is not a good sign for Washington. Jackie Robinson up. Bases loaded. Already a 2-1 lead for Manchester. But Robinson goes down on strikes. Innings over. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 2-1 Manchester. Apier will face Moore, and then the top of the order, Hamilton and Slaughter. 1 down. Okay, Apier. Slaughter up, deep in the right field. Ott's got it at the warning track. We head to the 4th, 2-1 Manchester. We've had 2 good games so far today. Mel Ott walks. Lanier's 2nd walk of the game. Ramirez is the 4th strikeout victim. Ashburn, the 5th strikeout victim. Bell walks, so we've had 2 strikeouts separated in the middle of 2 walks. 4 batters up. No ball's been hit yet. DiMaggio goes down 6th for Apier. Excuse me, 6 for who's pitching? Lanier. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks in an inning. That's impressive. Home run Baker. Apier walks him. Maybe that was bad luck I gave Apier. Babe Ruth up, throw to first. Let's do it again. Ruth strikes out for the 2nd time. 1 out, runner on first. Throw to first, he gets back. There he goes. Baker steals number 10. Runner in scoring position for Bill Dolan. He goes down swinging. Strikeout number 4, and Dan Bruthers comes up. Fly to center. Ashburn's got it for the out. Inning over. We head to the 5th. 2-1 Manchester. Okay, Max Lanier, thrown 75 pitches through 4 innings, will face Slot, Gehrig, and Rowland. I don't envy him. 3 good hitters. Ball's off the right center field fence. Slot's going into second with a stand-up double. Harper strikes out. Slot has a great record against left-handed pitching. I think he's in his real life against lefties. I think he's 480 or something. Base hit in the center field. Slot is going to hold. As Bruthers tried to tie this game up, but it didn't work. Excuse me, take a 2-run lead, but it didn't work. Gets my numbers straight. Jackie Robinson looking to knock in some insurance runs, but he lines it out to Whitaker, who makes a great play. Last chance now this inning for an insurance run goes to Melvin Ott. He walks, bases loaded. We've had a lot of bases loaded situations in this game. Manny Ramirez is a clutch bases loaded hitter. And he walks him. Lanier gets wild, run scores without the benefit of a hit. Ashburn strikes out to end the inning, but not before Manchester picks up one more run. And halfway home here in Washington Clowns Tiger Stadium, 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Manchester. 9 runners left on. That's because of the walks. Clowns, 1 run, only 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. Appier facing Whitaker. Let's go, MV. And he pops it up. MV's doing great. MV's looking for a win over Washington. Close the gap. Whitaker deep in the center field, but Ashburn's got it. We got to find that cursor. There it is. Harper on the ground to second. Jackie Robinson to Lou Gehrig. 2 away. The Clowns send up Terry Moore. It's on the ground in a left field, base hit. Appier gets the first 2 batters, third one singles. Billy Hamilton walks. Runners on first and second. 2 men out. Stepping in Slaughter. Foul ball. Fly ball to right. And Ott puts it away for the out. Inning over. We head to the 6th. 3-1 Manchester. Bell leads off for Manchester on the ground. The Bruthers, we haven't seen too many of these plays today, except in game number 1. Joe DiMaggio is the 9th strikeout victim for Lanier. Lanier could use a quick inning, and he strikes out Slot for number 10. He got it. We head to the bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Manchester. Okay, after another sip of water, Appier steps to the mound. He'll face Baker, Ruth, and Dolan. Baker strikes out. Appier's 5th. Ruth deep to right field. Ott on his horse. He's got it. 2 down. Bill Dolan deep to left field. This one is deep, and this one is off the wall. DiMaggio takes it on a hop, throws it into third. Bill Dolan doubles his 22nd of the year. Dan Bruthers up looking to cut this lead in half. And there's a base hit in the left field, and he does that. Bill Dolan scores, and Bruthers ends up on first base. It is 3-2 here in the sixth inning. Whitaker up, throw to first. Line drive just into the glove of Robinson. We head to the seventh inning. It is 3-2 Manchester. The Clowns pick up a run. Top of the order, we'll see Gehrig, Rowland, and Robinson facing Lanier, who promptly gives up a base hit to Gehrig. Okay, here we go. Lanier faces Robinson. Top of the seventh. Line drive, Slaughter. Catches it. 2 down, runner still on first. Lanier gets strikeout number 12 as Ott goes down. We head to the bottom of the seventh, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 10 left on base for MV's Manchester Red Bulls. And for Jamie's Washington Clowns, 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, 5 left on. Jamie's got 3 innings to catch up. Let's see what happens. Apier delivers to Harper, strikes him out, number 6. Terry Moore walks him. Apier has walked a few batters today also. Let's check. Walk number 3. Billy Hamilton's had a good day. He's 1 for 2. Slow roller to Rowland. Rolling across the diamond. He isn't going to make it, is he? He's out. He gets Hamilton by half a step. That is a great play by Rowland at third base, and that saves a base runner for Manchester, as Manchester has a runner on second base. Represents the tying run. Excuse me, not the tie. I'm making mistakes here. Let me start all over again. Apier is pitching, and Apier's pitching for Manchester, and Terry Moore does represent the tying run at second. As I got a little mixed up there, you'll have to forgive me. Just turned 74 years old. I'm surprised I know where I am. Ground ball to Bell, over to Gehrig for the out. Slaughter is out. Innings over. We head to the 8th, I think. Yeah, I'm just kidding. We head to the 8th. 3-2 Manchester. Manny Ramirez promptly singles into left off Lanier. He ends up on second base with a double. That, my friends, is an insurance run. Ashburn up. Ashburn back up the middle. Dolan's got it, but it's not going to be a throw. Ashburn's going to get a base hit on the infield. Jay Bell, top of the order for MV, and he's going to bunt. Runners are going to go to second and third. Bell's going to be thrown out at first. 1 down. Runners both in scoring position for you know who. Jolton Joe DiMaggio. They're going to walk him, and they're going to face Don Slott. Good call. Fly to center field. That ball is into the stands as Moore just watches it. Everybody's going to touch the base. 4-run score. They walk Joe DiMaggio, and Lanier gives up a grand slam home run to Slot. And Slot can hit those left-handers, and he just proved it. 7-2. Game is no longer close. Lanier leaves. One batter too late facing Garrett Aguilera. The ball's off the wall. Garrett goes in a second, standing for a double. Aguilera, this NFL more backing up. He's got it. Garrett is going to hold. 2 down, Jackie Robinson. And Moore watches this one go into the upper deck here in left center field in Detroit. And just like that, the score is 9-2 as MV has blown it open. They go back to the bullpen for Dave Smith, but it's too little too late. Out on the ground. Baker's got it for the out. 6 outs to get 7 runs. Frank Baker up facing Apier. Ashburn's got it for the out. Babe Ruth. Deep to right field. Ott's got it for the out. These balls could not go any further and stay in the ballpark. Dolan with a line drive right to Robinson. 3 hard-hit balls. But the Clowns have nothing to show for it as we go to the 9th. It is 9-2. Clue writes a Slot slam. We were looking at Slot today when we were talking to MV this morning. Slot's got a .478 batting average against left-handed pitching. And he certainly looked good today. Manny Ramirez to center. 1 down. Base hit in the left field for Richie Ashburn. Ashburn has 13 steals on the season. Will he go? Ground ball to Bruthers. Going to step on the bag. Second out of the inning. And Joe DiMaggio's 0 for 3 was intentionally walked to set up the Slot home run. This ball's off the right field fence. Ashburn trots home. DiMaggio on his way to third. No throw. He's standing with a triple. 10-2. Slot has 3 hits today. But he doesn't hit right-handers like he hits left-handers, and he flies to left to end the inning. Bottom of the 9th we go. 10-2. Let's click and get this over with. Jake Miller coming in to pitch. Whoever Jake Miller is. Fly to right. 1 down. Fly to left. 2 down. Great play by Joe DiMaggio. Line drive, base hit to center field. The game's not quite over. Harper at first, Moore up. Pops it up in the infield. This should do it. Bell under it. Puts it away. Game over. Manchester wins 10-2. And we've got the box score. There should be some hitting stars all the way up and down the Manchester lineup. We're not going to name them all, but they got 15 hits and 10 runs. Washington, only six hits scattered. They got 2 runs. Winning pitcher, Kevin Apier, 10-4, 8 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, all earned. Struck out 6, walked 3. Lanier, the loser, is now 10-7, pitched 7 1/3, 11 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them were earned. He did have 12 strikeouts, however, and 6 walks. Aguilera and Smith came in to end the game. Okay, let's do some simming. My voice is done, so we're just going to sim through. We'll go through the 7th, leave some meat in the bone. Maybe Steve or someone will come in and do another week, go through the 14th. But my voice is pretty much gone, so we're just going to sim the rest of the first week in the month of July. Beantown at Philadelphia, 7-5. Philly upsets Beantown. Union Stewarts 5-1 winners over Lancaster. Union Stewarts takes over third place in the last playoff spot in the No More Tears division. Chicago shuts out Carolina 1-0. They remain 8 games behind Real Chicago in spot number 2. St. Louis at San Francisco. St. Louis loses to San Francisco again 5-2. They fall a game behind Lehigh for third place in their division. Real at Edmonton, what happened to that? Real wins 5-3. Clemens over Hershiser. Real now 8.5 ahead. Lehigh at Crystal Lake. 4-2. Crystal Lake loses at home to Lehigh. Crystal Lake falls a little further behind. And Vegas at Gary. Gary always beats me, but I beat him today 5-2 in a game that means absolutely nothing. In the 5th, Vegas moves into Manchester and defeats him 7-5. McGinnity with his 98 ERA plus wins. He's now 3-3. Real at Beantown. Beantown wins 8-3. Edmonton at Philadelphia. Philadelphia wins 3-1 as Edmonton in a horrible streak here. Only a half a game ahead of Philadelphia for last place. Chicago Union Stewards. Chicago wins 9-2. That puts Chicago 7.5 back. Lancaster and Union Stewards tied for the last playoff spot. Crystal Lake at San Francisco. San Francisco on a little bit of a winning streak defeats them 4-3. Crystal Lake now 10 back in that division. That's a surprise to me. Lancaster shut out by Carolina. Carolina still fighting for a playoff spot. And Washington at Gary, 7-0 Washington. On to the 6th. Chicago at Union Stewards, fighting for that second and third spot. 5-3 Union Stewards. Union Stewards only a game back now at Chicago for the second place. Vegas at Manchester. Will Manchester exact some revenge? They shut them out 10-0. Parnell wins his 9th game. And we move on to Crystal Lake at San Francisco. San Francisco 14-6. Crystal Lake drops to 1 game under 500. I am stunned. Real Chicago 14-8 over Beantown. They maintaining their 8.5 game lead. For some reason, every time I put in a new file from Steve, I have to redo the logos. I'm sure that's a reason for that, but I don't know what it is. Lancaster, Carolina. Lancaster staying close to the playoff spot, wins 6-5. Edmonton at Philadelphia. Edmonton wins 5-4, and they now are a game and a half ahead of Philly. Keep out of the cellar. We move on to day number 7, end of the first week in July, my last day, because my voice is gone. If no one else comes back and does any games, I will do either another week or 2 tomorrow. We will be done with July this week, I promise you. Okay, Edmonton at Beantown. They've changed cities. Edmonton loses 2-1. Beantown with the win. Crystal Lake now doesn't get any easier for them. They go to St. Louis, where they shut out St. Louis 1-0. Let's take a look at that division. That brings Crystal Lake back to 500. 10.5 back, 3 games behind the Lehigh team who has the third and final playoff spot. Gary at Manchester, 7-6 Manchester. They are in first place now, a half a game ahead of Washington. Lehigh trying to keep pace. They do defeat San Francisco 10-7. Chicago trying to keep pace. They lose to Lancaster. Lancaster now moves into a tie for the third and final spot with Union Stewards. And speaking of Union Stewards, they lose 2-1. Carolina beats them. Lancaster moves into third place. Union Stewards moves into fourth. Carolina fifth. That's going to be quite a race to the finish. Philly at Real Chicago. 1-0 Real Chicago. 9.5 game lead for David. David has a comfortable lead in that division. League leading Washington against almost last place Vegas. Vegas wins 7-6 in 10 innings. Well, let's sim a couple more days. We'll stop at the 10th. I'm curious what happens now. Gary at Manchester. Manchester in first place, and they shut them out 1-0. Lehigh at home against San Francisco. They win 9-5. They're in third place, 7.5 back. Edmonton at Beantown. Beantown wins 3-1. Edmonton is 1 game out of last place. Beantown, 4 games out of last place. Union Stewards in Carolina. Here's the race. 3 and 4. Let's see who wins here. Carolina, 3-2 winners. They are now a game and a half out of playoff spot. Lancaster's in between them. Lancaster plays later today. Real Chicago 2-1 winners at Philadelphia. League Washington 50-30 against the 33-46 Vegas team, and they shut them out 10-0. Nichols wins that game. Crystal Lake at St. Louis. Crystal Lake loses this one 14-2, and Chicago fighting with Lancaster wins 5-3. We move on to the 9th. How do we stand down here? Manchester, a game ahead of Washington, 7.5 against Lehigh. 2.5 back is St. Louis. Crystal Lake, 4.5 back. No More Tears. Real Chicago, 9.5 ahead of Chicago. Lancaster, 11 back in third in the final playoff spot. Union Stewards, a half a game behind them. And Carolina, 1 game behind. Beantown, Edmonton, and Philadelphia take up the rear. Crystal Lake at St. Louis. 4-2 St. Louis. Another win for St. Louis. They move a little closer. Manchester shut out by the last place Gary team. Therefore, St. Louis picks up a game. Washington is only a half a game out now. They can take over first place with a win today. Lehigh 8-2. They pick up a game on Manchester. Edmonton at Beantown. Beantown 6-2 winners. Chicago at Lancaster. Lancaster wins 7-3. They're in third place now. Union Stewards a game out. Union Stewards can get back a half a game, but they don't. Carolina wins. Carolina is a game out of playoff spot. Union Stewards drops to 5th. Quite a battle going on there. Philadelphia at Real Chicago. Real Chicago now has a 10.5 game lead, winning that game 6-4. And will Washington take over first place? They play a doubleheader in Vegas. Vegas wins game number 1, 4-3. Game number 2, Washington 6-4. They split it. They hold a half game back. And the 10th and final day of this broadcast, no games scheduled. Must be an all-star break. How about the 11th? No game scheduled. The 12th, no game scheduled. Well, we got to the 13th where we wanted to or not. And that's it for me. I want to thank Big Clue, Mark from Beantown, David Lando /Deep Gaming for coming by, and anybody else that bothered to check in today's broadcast. We take this off the screen. It Just briefly, Manchester holds a half-game lead over Washington, 6.5 over Lehigh. Real Chicago, 10.5 game lead over the Johnny-come-lately Chicago team, 10.5 back. Lancaster, 11 back. Those teams are in the current playoff spots. Joe Jackson still leads the batting leaders, but he's lost his .400 batting average. Home runs, Babe Ruth with 34. He is stepping out 11 home runs ahead of Lou Gehrig. He also leads the RBI title for Washington. ERA, Kershaw moves ahead of Maddox, who's been in first place in the ERA race earlier. Pennick moves ahead of Maddox also, as Maddox is toiling for the slumping Crystal Lake team, unfortunately. They've got a good team. Not sure why they're slumping, but they are. Hubble with 16 wins ahead of Hendricks and Johnson. For Chicago, Fingers leads and saves with 13. Mel Parnell is on a 7-game winning streak, I noticed. David Landau is now the manager, leads the manager of the year voting. It was Washington's manager, whose name escapes me, Jamie, who was leading most of the first half of the year. Carl Hubble now moves into the Cy Young lead. Shoeless Joe Jackson, the MVP lead. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you all on Discord, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow with another broadcast. Have a nice day.